Hey guys, it's George from SoundTraxx here, and today we're going to play with the 7-band equalizer. Now, as many of you know, the 7-band equalizer is a feature that we've had going back to our original Tsunami, included in the original Tsunami, the Econami, and now the Tsunami2. So we're going to talk a little bit about what it is and why you want it. Now, first off, let's back up a little bit and let's talk about sound in general. Now, sound, as we all hear, is air pressure that's traveling through the air that our eardrums interpret as individual sounds. So the frequency of this air pressure is going to determine which sounds we hear, things like birds chirping, diesel engines, and things like that. The pressure at which those waves hit our ear are going to be interpreted as the volume. So this is kind of why we recommend using a large speaker in our decoders, is because the larger the speaker, usually the wider travel that the speaker can do. Also, the larger surface area is able to create more pressure, aka more volume. Now, you also want to make sure you put a baffle on all of your speakers, because that air pressure, once it's created on the front of the speaker, if it's open to the same air, the air's pressure is going to cancel itself out as it works its way around the speaker. But when you put a proper baffle on the one end, as you make the speaker makes the sound, that air pressure in there has nowhere to go but to our ears. Now, with the 7-band equalizer, this allows you to customize the decoder's performance to match the speaker that you've chosen for your model. Now, each one of our speakers has a card that comes with it and talks about the frequency ranges that a speaker can physically reproduce in its size. Now, on this particular model, we've actually got 4 of our mini-cube speakers, and these are actually able to reproduce a pretty low frequency considering their size. And with 4 of them now, those 4 speakers are going to work together to create that air pressure so that we've got the good volume. Now, the 7-band equalizer allows us to customize that sound profile to match the speaker, and we can minimize the speaker's weaknesses but maximize its strengths, so we can look at that frequency range. Have you ever wondered why the bell sound comes out so strong in our models? That's because that sound is considered a high frequency, and therefore these small speakers are very, very proficient at making that sound, and so that's why it comes through so loud. But with the equalizer, we're going to be able to level the playing field and kind of enhance some of those low frequencies. Now, as I mentioned, this model has 4 mini-cube speakers. So on this, we have set the equalizer already in advance, allowing some of the lower frequencies to be boosted a little bit more, while we take some of the mid-range and kind of drop it down a little bit, and then take the high range and kind of even it out and kind of leave it even tempered. So let's take a listen and see what the difference is. So now we're going to get this guy started, and right now the equalizer is disabled or off. Now you can really hear how that low frequency comes in when the model starts up. But without the equalizer, we're just getting right out of the box just a flat, no change on the sounds. So now that we've enabled the equalizer, let's take a listen and see how startup sounds now. Now you can really hear how that low frequency has now been enhanced with the 7-band equalizer settings. So right now the locomotive is sitting idle with the equalizer off. So now with the locomotive sitting here, I'm going to take 225 and set it to a value of 7. You can kind of really hear how that locomotive profile has now changed. You hear a lot more of that low frequency, especially with that compressor kicked in. And this is how this 7-band equalizer allows you to enhance your model as well as customize the overall sound profile so that you can have several locomotives that none of them sound exactly alike. Now, the way the 7-band equalizer works, CB225 is what's called the control, and this enables a few different preset values for the equalizer, or you can set it to a value of 7 for the user adjustable. And this is what really allows you to match the sounds to your tastes and your ears. From there, CBs 226 through 232 are the individual bands of the 7-band equalizer, and each one of those is assigned to a frequency range. Now, the way the CB works, a value of 128 is flat or in the middle, means no change. Now, when you increase that value, you're going to boost that particular frequency up to 12 decibels, all the way up to 255. But if you reduce that value from 128 down to 0, you can actually reduce that particular frequency by about 12 decibels. This allows you to match the decoder to the speaker that you've chosen for your model. Now, I encourage you to try this out, play with it, see how it works for you, and take a listen, and maybe you can have some enhanced models on your own layout.